Emmet Fox was one of the most popular and influential spiritual leaders of the 20th century, and the author of many books, including the Sermon on the Mount and the Ten Commandments. Amongst the many insights and ideas that Emmet Fox has shared with his readers, none is more famous than his essay called The Golden Key. Millions of copies have been sold and translated into multiple languages. I now present to you this original essay written by Emmet Fox and read by James Xander. The Golden Key by Emmet Fox. Forward. I have condensed this message in this edition. Had it been possible, I would have condensed it to several lines. It is not intended to be an instructional treatise, but a practice guide for getting out of trouble. Study and research are well in their own time and place, but no amount of either will get you out of a difficulty. Nothing but practical work in your own consciousness will do that. The mistake made by many people when things go wrong is to skim through book after book without getting anywhere. Also, to think about the problem, going over every detail while worrying about the outcome. Read The Golden Key several times. Do exactly what it says, and if you are persistent, you will overcome any difficulty. Emmet Fox. The Golden Key by Emmet Fox. Scientific prayer will enable you to get yourself or anyone else out of any difficulty. It is the golden key to harmony and happiness. To those who have no acquaintance with the mightiest power in existence, this may appear to be a rash claim, but it needs only a fair trial to prove that without a shadow of doubt, it is a just one. You need take no one's word for it, and you should not. Simply try it for yourself. God is omnipotent, and we are God's image and likeness and have dominion over all things. This is the inspired teaching, and it is intended to be taken literally, at its face value. The ability to draw on this power is not the special prerogative of the mystic or the saint, as is so often supposed, or even of the highly trained practitioner. Everyone has this ability. Whoever you are, wherever you may be, the golden key to harmony is in your hands now. This is because in scientific prayer, it is God who works, and not you, and so your particular limitations or weaknesses are of no account in the process. You are the only channel through which the divine action takes place, and your treatment will be just the getting of yourself out of the way. Beginners often get startling results the first time, for all that is essential is to have an open mind and sufficient faith to try the experiment. Apart from that, you may hold any views on religion or none. As for the actual method of working, like all fundamental things, it is simplicity itself. All you have to do is this: stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. This is the complete rule, and if only you will do this, the trouble, whatever it is, will disappear. It makes no difference what kind of trouble it is. It may be a big thing or a little thing. It may concern health, finance, a lawsuit, a quarrel, an accident, or anything else conceivable. But whatever it is, stop thinking about it and think of God instead. That is all you have to do. It could not be simpler, could it? God could scarcely have made it simpler, and yet it never fails to work when given a fair trial. Do not try to form a picture of God, which is impossible. Work by rehearsing anything or everything you know about God. God is wisdom, truth, inconceivable love. God is present everywhere, has infinite power, knows everything, and so on. It matters not how well you may think you understand these things. Go over them repeatedly. You must stop thinking of the trouble, whatever it appears to be. The rule is to think about God only. If you are thinking about your difficulty, you are not thinking about God. To be continually glancing over your shoulder in order to see how matters are progressing is fatal, because it is thinking of the trouble, and you must think of God and nothing else. Your object is to drive the thought of the difficulty out of your consciousness, for a few moments at least, substituting for it the thought of God. This is the crux of the whole thing. If you can become so absorbed in this consideration of the spiritual world that you forget for a while about the difficulty, you will find that you are safely and comfortably out of your difficulty, that your demonstration is made. In order to golden key a troublesome person or difficult situation, think, now I am going to golden key John or Mary or that threatened danger. Then proceed to drive all thought of John or Mary or the danger out of your mind, replacing it with the thought of God. By working in this way about a person, you are not seeking to influence his conduct in any way, except that you prevent him from injuring or annoying you, and you do him nothing but good. Thereafter, he is certain to be in some degree a better, wiser, and more spiritual person, just because you have golden keyed him. A pending lawsuit or other difficulty would probably fade out harmlessly without coming to a crisis, justice being done to all parties concerned. If you find that you can do this very quickly, you may repeat the operation several times a day with intervals between. Be sure, however, each time you have done it, you drop all thought of the matter until the next time. This is very important. We have said that the golden key is simple, and so it is. But of course, it is not always easy to churn. If you are very frightened or worried, at first it may be difficult to get your thoughts away from material things. But by constantly repeating a statement of absolute truth, such as, there is no power but God. I am the child of God, filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God. God is love. God is guiding me now. Or perhaps best and simplest of all, God is with me. However mechanical or trite it may seem, you will soon find that the treatment has begun to take, and that your mind is clearing. Do not struggle violently. Be quiet, but insistent. Each time you find your attention wandering, switch it back to God. Do not try to think in advance what the solution to your difficulty will be. This is called outlining and will only delay the demonstration. Leave the question of ways and means to God. You want to get out of your difficulty. That is sufficient. You do your half, and God will never fail to do God's. Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Acts 2:21. Thank you for listening to this reading of Emmet Fox's The Golden Key. I strongly recommend you check out Emmet Fox's other lectures, such as The Mental Equivalent and the 7-Day Mental Diet. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe for more lectures and spiritual texts, and I'll see you in the next episode.